appropriately
Thanks for
dressed.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
So when you're going through the process of gathering all the memories in order to put a book together, what stood out to you as sort of either both the funniest moments or the funniest memories, and then maybe some of the more challenging or difficult memories?
Well, the funny ones, there was a lot of funny ones, but there's a lot of stuff that what helped me remember was all the laminates and tour posters and tour books and everything that I took home as souvenirs, like all posters like you guys got behind you and everything like that. I have a bunch of those from shows I've done and everything. But like as far as funny stuff, there was when Brutal Truth toured Europe in '94 with Pungent Stench from Austria and Macabre from Chicago. Macabre always sung about serial killers, and they had one song. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the band or not. About Albert Fish, the serial killer.
Yeah, I had it was on their old demo. I had an old demo with that on it.
Right, and because they actually had two different songs about Albert Fish. But one was "Was Children Your Favorite Dish," and one was "Albert was worse than any fish in the sea." But yeah, I'm channeling a little corporate death there. But the point being that the song we were talking about was, I think, worse than any fish in the sea. And in the chorus, corporate death, the vocalist would use this high-pitched shriek and go, "Albert," really high. My version of it is very weak. But after doing 50 shows with those guys, we did the last show in Portugal. We were delirious. It was like 50 shows and like 55 shows in less than 2 months. And we were just like, oh God, we're finally going home. And we're, the promoter comes up as we're having our morning like coffee and crap that the promoter had supplied at the tables. And he goes, "Hey guys, how you doing? I'm really glad you guys are here. If you need anything, I'm the promoter. My name is Albert." We all looked at him and screamed, "Albert!" And, like 20 guys doing that. And yeah, humorous. As far as challenging stuff, I mean, that would be more like if I decided I didn't want to play in a band anymore, then I just kind of left and did something else because that's what I do, and I don't do it to be an asshole. But I know that, like, when I left Nuclear Assault in '92 to do Brutal Truth full time, I know I let some people down. But I play music because I enjoy doing it, not to make money or get laid or anything like that. And if I'm not enjoying it, then I'm not going to do it. So
yeah,
cheers.
Right. Yeah. Amen to that.
I interviewed you once about, God, it's probably been about 20 years ago for KNAC.com. And you told me at that time, I asked you, in fact, I said, why do you tend to bounce from band to band? Is it that you just get bored or get tired, or things just kind of run their course and it's time to move on? And you said you had a short attention span. and that seems to be the case. Is that still the case?
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Because each band that you've been in, you've gained some traction. I mean, Brutal Truth had a nice long run. Nuclear Assault had a nice long run. And then I know you've been in a bunch of like black metal bands and that sort of thing. A lot of them, actually. So I was questioning at the time why you would leave something that's, sort of gaining momentum, at least from an outsider's perspective.
Well, I think most of the bands that I left had already gained momentum and kind of were on the way down already. And that's not why I would have left, like, oh, this isn't. But, well, Anthrax I left because I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
S.O.D was kind of just folded because it was getting too popular and other guys in Anthrax were getting mad. But that's what kind of happened. Nuclear Assault I left because I wanted to play full-time in Brutal Truth. And at that time, I just was bored playing thrash, and Nuclear Assault had already kind of peaked. So that was already past the gaining momentum stage. Brutal Truth, though, we were still in '98. See, this is kind of touchy because what happened with Brutal Truth the first time around was due to like inner band squabbling, and to be honest, so that's not something that any of us have ever. We kind of made a pact, like, all right, we're not going to air our dirty laundry, but there's things where there was just too much negative energy because people weren't getting along, and we couldn't focus on playing alien violent grindcore anymore. Yeah. So I just looked at I looked at the other dude who wasn't involved in the squabbling and said, yeah, fuck this dude. And he went, yeah, you're right. That was that. And
yeah, go ahead.
We were definitely past the momentum stage, but we were also still like, people were fucking crushed when we broke up. But again, I will only do something if I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned grindcore, and I wanted to ask you because you're a connoisseur of grindcore music, and grindcore hasn't yet, anyway, sort of reached what I would consider a commercial peak. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you go back to 1980, no one would have ever imagined that Anthrax, Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, that those bands, that sound would eventually gain a mainstream audience. So keeping that in mind, in your opinion, why has grindcore not really found a wider audience?
Well, I mean, there is a line of acceptability, I will call it, in regular society. And sure, I could never have imagined in 1982 or 1984 that, Metallica would be on car commercials one day. But that's also because they kind of chilled their sound out and became more rock-talica, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
right.
Real grindcore or real black metal or real underground shit, it will only be referenced. You'll hear bands in more palatable genres like metalcore do these kind of riffs once in a while and quote that kind of stuff, but that kind of stuff full on, grindcore, it wouldn't reach a wide audience because it's just too fucking abrasive. And yeah, you could have said that about Metallica in 1984, but like I said, it reaches a point where it goes off the curve. And, that's where it reaches a point where most people just go, because you know what people say, like your uncle, like, why are they screaming? Why are they so angry?
Yeah.
They're not angry. They're being brutal.
When your parents and your grandparents and your weird uncles and it just sounds like noise. I can't understand the lyrics. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you can't understand the lyrics. That's the kind of music it is. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about being correct. And that's what the music is about. And I not to, get on my box for a second, but I'll tell you, it's not supposed to gain any sort of acceptance. It's supposed to be for the people who like lo-fi, for the people who like demo versions of the heaviest, weirdest, craziest sounding noise metal. And I feel like, how do you feel about what I'm saying right there? Is that basically, are you in agreement?
Oh, I would say absolutely. I'd say you definitely got that in a nutshell, that there's because it's also about a certain attitude that comes with all that.
Exactly.
I'm not playing music to please anybody, for one thing.
Right.
Yourself? Not even yourself.
Oh, well, ironically, no.
I was kind of kidding, and then I'm like, surely you're getting some enjoyment by being a disruptor of things calm,
Oh, no, I definitely enjoy that.
Okay, part, good. Okay, yeah.
It's like, Brutal Truth has given people migraines since '92, right?
That's a bumper sticker I would put on the car. Yeah,
that is a T-shirt. Yeah.